and welcome to the latest edition of Cruising with the Coaches, conversation with Julie and Lee. Julie, well, I'm sorry, how are you doing? How rude of me. How rude of me. How are you
I'm
doing?
good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm choking, but I'm good. I'm good. I was gonna ask, have you ever been a person who wakes up before the sun, right? To get your day started? Like, if you are up super early, like that is your thing. You are feeling
That
productive.
that
You
is
are
all you.
so I'm gonna
That
go
is
with no. I'm gonna go
all
with no on
you.
that one.
All you.
There was a time, going back, I think maybe like 8 years now. Yeah, eight years or so, where some of it was due to triathlon training, right? But there's this group here in DC that they would get up. Now I didn't go to the 4 o'clock workout, but I went to the 5 o'clock or the
As
six.
I shiver.
You're you're like, what? you're,
Ugh, ugh.
you're like 4 a.m. What is I
Not
I
I.
I did do that a few times. It was like a running and body weight workout around the city, different places. Even like rode my bike there. So I was doing the thing, right?
I do that for airplanes, and that's about it. But go ahead.
But, I mean, that's important because you don't want to
Yeah,
be late. You don't want to miss your flight,
I do that for airplanes. That's it.
but it just sounds like vacation. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Well, to anybody who's curious, you do not need that 5 a.m. routine to be
No.
successful. Not at
No.
all. Not at all. See, like how I weave that in there. You know what I mean? It's excellent. I was giving away the tips, and then you don't need to do it.
No.
But this is definitely what we're talking about today. So let's jump in, man. This is from vegoutmag.com, which I've been reading articles from lately. But it's this 5 a.m. success story. You see it all over social media, right? You scroll through, you got influencers doing their thing at sunrise. You got people waking up saying how productive they're being, about, from abs to their moral fiber, right? So this article was written by Avery White, and he talks about or people who've actually built sustainable, purpose driven lives, such as entrepreneurs, teachers, scientists, even busy parents. The 5 a.m. routine is less cinematic, right? But many swear by waking up at 7 a.m. And other people thrive splitting their day up, right? It's getting up starting at 10 or whatever it is. So he started interviewing high performers for this article. And one thing came out of his interviews: what matters is not when you start, but how you direct your energy once you're up. So, what he came up with is what these high performers, what they say about willpower in the time of day. So, since willpower is not infinite, it's more like a muscle that you have to use, right? So, as you use it, it tires out. Psychologist Roy Baumeister, his seminal studies on ego depletion highlight that the quality decision making erodes after prolonged self control, no matter the hour. The key variable isn't sunrise, it's conservation. So, people who get up early, the early birds, they might peak in their cognition mid morning, and night owls produce their best insight very late at night. The thing about creativity surges, or the thing is, creativity surges when people lean into their natural circadian preferences rather than fight them. This means that mentally strong people align with demanding tasks with personal peak windows, whether it's 6 a.m., 4 p.m. They save the administrative fluff for the low energy times, preserving the mental horsepower for the heavy lifts. So, hearing that you were not a early riser, but what type of time, like, have you leaned into that, right? When your energy's at its peak. And how did that work for you? Or has that changed over time?
So I've always been a night person.
Mm,
But I don't know, that has changed for me. So like I don't know. It depends.
seems like you need to watch this episode.
So I mean it does. It depends for me. Like so
Mm,
so much has changed for me in the last few months though. So like
mm,
I I'm like borderline OCD. So I'm a list person.
sure.
So mentally I do my things like in powers of 3.
Mm,
So I
mhm,
I do 3 things for myself personally. I do 3 things
sure.
for myself professionally. And
Mhm.
that's how as long as I knock these 3 things out, as long as I knock these 3 things out, then
Then
I'm
you're
been
good.
successful for
But
the day.
and it
You see,
doesn't have to be super early, doesn't have to
it
be
doesn't have to be
late.
super early, it doesn't have to be
It's
super
throughout
late.
the
It's
day.
throughout
Mhm,
the day, and
mhm,
then depending on how much time I have in the middle
mhm.
is, like I prefer to get my workout done in the daytime.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I prefer a chill wake. You know what I mean? Like if
I
I
got you.
can, I like to ease
Ease in.
into my morning
Sure,
like
sure.
like a snail. Like I roll out, I get my tea, I sip. Like I'm a real chill in the morning
So
kind of person.
so your alarm is set for 6, but you're not really up till 10. No, no.
No, but see, that's the funny thing. So like my alarm is set for 7, but I'm so
Mhm.
excited when I wake up at 6:45. Like if I wake up before my alarm, then we're about to have a good day. Now,
Right,
if
right,
my
right.
alarm wakes me up, I'm not
Cancel
happy.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, cancel Christmas. So I don't know. Like I said,
So
it's
maybe, but like you said, maybe it's changing now, right? And I know, like, for the better part of 30 some years, TV and TV schedule has dominated my time, right?
okay.
Whether that's been overnight hours, right? When you have to be alert and it's against every principle, like you have to be awake and attentive, and
Yes.
something happens, right? You have things to do, or whether it's been like super early in the morning. Um, so that it's been around the clock for me at different
Okay.
times.
Okay.
What I have found is I've gotten better with age, not older,
Okay.
but I found that, and even telling that story in the beginning of the episode, right? I do not like 4 a.m., 5 a.m.,
Okay.
6 a.m. I don't
Okay.
like that anymore. I don't like it.
I like it when I'm going to a plane. That's about the only time I like it.
I don't even like it going to a plane.
No, you
It's
have
if
to.
if I can help it, it's gonna be later or early. No, I'll do it if I
No.
have to. I'll do it if I have to, right?
Yes. If I could get
But
to my destination before lunch, I'm ecstatic.
which means I'll be there
Ecstatic.
the day before. Yeah, the super early, yeah, not a
Oh,
fan.
I
But
would love it.
because of like the TV schedule,
Yeah.
it's not a thing. Like I can do it, right?
Okay.
But if I prefer, and that 7 a.m. really hit for me, right? Because that's kind of peak for me.
Okay.
7 a.m. But I also build time into my schedule, like you said, like easing in.
Mhm.
If I got an 8:30, well, if I have to be out by 8:30 or 9
Mm,
o'clock, I'm
okay.
getting up at 7, so I can just kind of, ease into getting ready and okay, let me check this and do that. I'm not rushing around.
Okay.
So that's what works for me, right?
Okay.
And I've probably prepared depending on, like, I got a couple classes that I teach, right?
Mhm.
So I've prepared the workout the night before,
Okay.
or even possibly the week before, right? So that way I don't have to come up with something. I might adjust it, but I don't have to come up with the whole plan, right?
Okay.
So easing in to the day works for me. But 7 a.m. is key now, 8 years ago, I was at the 4 or 5 a.m.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not no more. No,
Yikes.
no. But so the next part of the article talks about how mentally strong people define consistency, and that these are these high performers that he interviewed. So consistency is often miscast or misinterpreted as rigid repetition. Eat the same breakfast, you write exactly 500 words. Well, you can't skip leg day, but never skip leg day, right? But in reality, what it's resilience or resilient experts frame consistency as reliable engagement with core priorities, not robotic sameness. So, an Olympic coach, Steve Magnus, calls it elastic discipline, the ability to stay tethered to the goal without flexing or while flexing with real world turbulence. Mentally strong people craft routines with built in give. It's a menu of interchangeable morning anchors rather than a single brittle sequence. One week, that means meditation, journaling. Next week, quiet walk, 5-minute check in with your partner. These anchors can shift, but the intent, right? It calibrates the mood, sets the direction. That remains steady. This approach shields routines from the guilt spiral when life disrupts things. It also combats boredom, and it's a silent routine killer that boredom is. Variety keeps the nervous system engaged without diluting the purpose. So, like I can really get with that. It's really leaning into a flexible routine because as we both know, life as people put, life gets lifey, right?
Mhm.
Life gets in the way. Life throws curveballs. Life will beat the shit out of you, right?
Oh,
Like,
facts. Facts. Yeah.
but in the middle of that, if you have a rigid routine and you thrive off the rigid routine, what do you do when that's disrupted, right?
Right.
But I
Be
think
pissed off.
but you can't punch life
Sound
back,
like
right?
everything.
And then take it out. Everybody's walking on eggshell.
Everybody,
Ooh,
ooh, ooh, ah.
don't talk to Julie.
Right.
It's 7 a.m. Don't do it. And that's the thing, right? You keep it flexible so that you don't have to be pissed off when life gets in the way,
Oh,
right?
facts.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. But that's the I do find the flexibility good.
Yes.
I think I was probably a more rigid routine person years ago. You know,
Yeah.
I gotta say, I think COVID changed a lot of that for me, right?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
I think even with working out too, like I ain't gonna lie, when Fitbit started this whole cardio load bull crap, I was like, what the hell is this new function? Like, what is this?
it's
What
telling you
like
sit your ass down.
I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, what is this? And so like
Yeah,
now I'm like, oh, okay. Like I actually look forward to it, like because you know how it tells you what the cardio load should be for the day and blah blah blah
right.
blah whatever. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess I'm gonna take it easy
I'm
today,
a chill, right? It's
or
gonna
it's gonna
be
be
a
a
recovery
leg
day.
day, or it's gonna be,
Mhm,
it's gonna be this kind of day. So
mhm.
I try to respect the cardio load now. But I didn't like before I was just like, what the hell is this? Like this is
It's
stupid.
well, but it's helped you build the flexibility.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Totally, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, no. It's I've had to build in a different flexibility for the workouts now. You
Yeah.
know, it. I'm telling you, I used to be that dude. Like, cool, 5 a.m. I'm going to the pool. 5 a.m. going to the gym. Like, get it done before everybody wakes up and it's quiet and it's peaceful. Mm-mm, nah, if that's why I have to have a gym. Like, people can feel how they want about Planet Fitness. I love Planet Fitness because it's most of them open 24/7. So I
Right.
love
So
it.
you can go any well, ours
Whenever
isn't. Ours is what is ours doing? We do
is it open
7.
24/7? Oh, 7
Yeah.
a.m.
It's no, it's closes at 7 on Friday
Okay.
and Saturday. And it's got funky hours. It's like 24/7 Monday.
Some days.
Yeah, it's stupid. But
So see, even they build flexibility.
yeah.
But yeah, so that like the early thing doesn't work, but flexibility definitely does.
Yeah.
So I'm with that. Here's more when we're talking about flexibility, right? The power of flexible structure over rigid rules. So this is something else that came up in I think his name was Avery White in his interview of high performers. So structure is like scaffolding, right? It's the rigidity that builds the cage. But mentally strong people differentiate the two. So they have a framework that keeps everything together, but it allows for movement. So they have predefined work blocks separated by a short reset, or they have a digital free zone and they balance that with social browsing in their windows or on the phone. And they have standing weekly review paired with spontaneous creative sprints. It's the flexibility. Flexibility acknowledges human variability, sleep, debt, hormonal cycles, unexpected crises, but it does not sacrifice the momentum. Psychology, win over never fully breaking the chain, fuels the lasting adherence. So, in contrast, the all or nothing mentality that a lot of 5 a.m. manifestos breeds, it's self criticism. If you miss one pre dawn workout, you failed. It's a mindset that links to dropout rates in health programs. Elastic goals keep the ego intact and the habits alive. So, this reminds me of something similar. You've heard of that workout, and a lot of people do it. I know people who've done it. 75 hard.
Mm-mm.
So 75 hard is you have to do two physical workouts per day. One in the morning, well, just two. You have to read, I forget how many pages, maybe like 10 to 20 pages a day. You have to drink a gallon of water. You have to, what is it? I think it's no snack foods, right? So all healthy things or healthier options. Um, but you have to do that for 75 days straight.
Okay.
One of the two workouts has to be outdoors. Okay.
Okay.
This is rain, shine, whatever. And if you miss a day, you have to start over from the beginning. So while I know many people who have done 75 hard and it's a great like reset, it's a great commitment. I had never done it because I was like, I don't want to commit to that. Because that's for me, that's an all or nothing kind of thinking, right? I'd rather build sustainability like, okay, I can do this for 2 days this week. Once I get that week done, can I commit to the same 2 days next week? Then the following week, can I do it 2 days again?
Okay.
By the time that fourth week rolls around, oh, maybe I can add another day, right? Or change the time, whatever it is, but that's more flexible for me. And again, it allows for if something happens, I still can get 2 out of 7 days done. You know what I mean? Not 75 days straight. I even had told people, why don't you try building a habit for 21 to 30 days first before you do 75 hard and try one thing.
Try 14. Try 14 days.
And again, I'm not knocking 75 hard.
Yeah.
I know people who've done it, and that's great. But that was just an all or nothing type of thinking for me, and I couldn't commit to that. So I'm guessing you've never done 75 hard.
No.
You're like, yeah, no, what's that? It
No.
requires you to get up at 4 a.m. No, I'm kidding.
Hell to the no.
And it does not include vacation.
Yeah. No.
It's not happening. Not happening. Well, these peak performers, they are able to regulate emotion through these micro recoveries. They do breath exercises, they have gratitude notes, they even learn to laugh, right? Knowing that the mood bleeds into the cognitive output. Physical vitality also comes from predictable sleep, movement, and nutrition rather than heroic wake times. So when these things stack, productivity follows naturally. Or as one venture capitalist put it, if my energy's dialed, 6 hours of work outperforms 12. No sunrise salute needed. And I'm with that, right? It's really like leaning into your energy cycle. So you said night owl, right? I have done a lot of like editing. It'll be late, and I'm like, oh, you know what? But I'm in the peak mode, so let me get this done right now, right? So you got to follow that cycle. If it's a higher energy thing, and you've got the mental capacity, go knock it out, right?
Right.
If your body's telling you, and I even did this the other day. I was about to reply to some emails or something after I left work, and I was like, I don't have the mental capacity for that. Closing the laptop, I'm done. I played a video game or something. You know what I mean? That was like my self-care. So that's it's just you follow that energy for it, you know?
Right.
So why don't we take a break here? We've got a few more sections of the article that it talked about from these peak performers. And then when we come back, we will talk about your early schedule. No, I'm kidding. Not your early schedule. When we come back, we will finish talking about the article and why you do not need to be up at 5 a.m. to be successful. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey, folks, welcome back from the break. And while everyone was researching 75 hard, we are not promoting that you do it, but only if you want to. Only if you want to. Only if you want to. But let's go ahead and
I don't want to. Just so we're clear.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to check the comments because I'm sure there'll be a comment of Julie should do 75.
Hard no.
That'll be 75 no.
It's a hard no.
I can just I will get on to the article in a minute. I can just imagine you being challenged to do it and be like, who are you?
Yeah. No, not doing it. Not even thinking about it.
Not even close. No.
Nope.
But see, your habits are great, right? Like you get what you need to get done. But I think it's also being forced to do 75 days. And no, you're not going to force me to do it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
And it doesn't sound like she's choosing it either.
No. Thank you.
Oh man. Well, getting back into the high performers and what they suggest of why a 5 a.m. routine is not needed, right? So they protect their focus with deliberate boundaries. And that's something we've talked about a lot, boundaries, right? But in a world, Slack pings. In a world of Slack pings that can pierce your REM sleep, boundaries are the new superpower. So mentally strong professionals set explicit off-grid zones. No email for breakfast. Phone in the other room. The calendar blocks labeled thinking. Ooh, I'm going to try that. Thinking time. And the colleagues cannot book over that. They also communicate these limits preemptively, framing them as performance multipliers rather than quirks. These boundaries also extend to self-talk. So you have to limit the rumination about yesterday's mistakes, resisting that itch to plan every minute of tomorrow. The CEO that Avery White spoke with said that he'd journal a one-line prompt at night. What can wait? And that quarantines intrusive problem solving from her bedtime. The micro barrier pays dividends in restorative sleep and morning clarity. Illustrating that the success depends less on the waking early than defending mental quiet whenever it's needed. Man, if I'm telling you, we talk about boundaries almost every show. Maybe we should change the name to creating boundaries, right? But that's so true, right? Like, I know that I keep my phone downstairs when I go to bed, right? Like it's downstairs. Um, if you're on the do not disturb, then it'll ring through to my watch, right?
Okay.
But other than that, like, no, not doing that. I don't need
Yeah.
that distraction, right? That itch to, and especially now that my role has changed at work, I got to pay attention to a few more things, but there has to be a cutoff time too.
Yeah.
You know? So,
I would, I mean, I don't even, okay, so professionally, personally,
mhm,
um, I think we need to define success, like success for us professionally, success for us
sure, personally,
professionally. Like,
yeah,
I always want to be a good friend. To me, that is success. I always
hmm
want to be a good mother. To me, that is success.
hmm
Um, I think professionally, those things, as important as they are, they're not. I don't know. They're not as high of as a priority as I guess I thought they once were, type of a thing. And that's just me. That's not everybody. But I'm just at a different stage in my life.
sure,
And so, like, when it comes to the phone, I promise you, when I am with somebody, be it drinks, lunch, coffee,
hmm
whatever, my phone is face
hmm
down,
hmm
if not in my purse, completely out of reach. Like,
hmm
you are one on one, you've got my undivided attention. And that's just who I am as a person. Like,
hmm
I can't understand people if it's you and me, why are you on your phone?
and and the next alert, you're like, oh, hold on, because if it's unless it's an emergency, right? Unless somebody's calling you saying house is on fire, or
Exactly.
I got arrested, or I got shot. Like, I mean, but yeah, yeah.
You know? So, and I will say, one other thing professionally,
Mhm.
um, and and I don't mean to sound, I'm not trying to sound, I don't know what's the word, like,
You're better than, or
yeah, because I'm not, and I want to be clear on that. But
sure.
like, I will never forget. I had a board member, asked me, what
Mhm.
keeps you up at night,
You're like,
and
not this.
and I, and it was funny because I think about that question,
Yeah.
and I think to myself, if you have someone asking you what keeps you up at night,
Yeah.
They should be thinking about the fact you don't pay me to be up at night.
Mm.
You should be concerned if I'm up at night, because if I'm up at night, then
Mhm.
the fact of the matter is my mental health isn't where it needs to be when I'm getting up the next morning. So what is it that you could be doing to help me to get things off of my plate so that I can be 110% the following day?
Mhm.
That's what we should be talking about.
And
You
also
know what I'm saying?
let's I want to be clear too. I'm not sure, there might be a high limit of or price, but there might not be a salary that's worth someone losing sleep over.
Over. Yes.
That I don't lose sleep over my own coaching business,
Right.
and I'm the one that's building it and starting it.
Right.
If I'm
Right.
not losing sleep over that, then I I will say that I have lost some sleep. Well, I won't lose some sleep, but there's been some power outage issues over the last few weeks in the city.
Hmm.
So then at 4 a.m. and 3 a.m., there's a group text of happened again. And me and another guy are the closest in, right? So I've had that kind of issue, but by by and large, I'm not losing sleep over that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
Right.
a certain circumstance. So I'm
These are
with you.
isolated incidents that you should lose sleep over. But
Right.
if you are in a position of leadership
Constantly.
and you are
Hmm.
expecting your leader to be losing sleep night after night after night after night,
Hmm.
then what is it that we are not supporting you in a way that you should be able to sleep at night? Like,
Absolutely.
we are like, what are we doing
As an organization, as a
as an
board, as a
organization as it, to not
company.
assist you? You should sleep like a baby, and we should
Yep.
support you in a way that you should be able to sleep. Like, I
Because
that,
we're paid to take those calls, not you.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. And so like,
Hopefully your answer to that question was my kids.
so like, yeah, that I mean, to this day that always bothered me, and I always thought
Mm.
to myself like, wow, like, I honestly, I shouldn't be losing sleep, like.
Well, and I wonder too if that particular, you said it was a board member. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wonder,
no, it's just one of those
or
blanket
anyone. Yeah.
questions. Yeah. It's one of those questions that people ask, so what keeps you up at night? Blah, 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 blah. And it's really like we've become a nation. We shouldn't be up at night. Like, we shouldn't be in a state of mind that we're worried, we're
It's
in fear,
con-
we're
constant anxiety. That's yeah. It, dare we say what's it's that's chronic stress. That's what
yes,
that is. That's
yeah,
chronic stress.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's like when you're asked that, you're just kind of like,
Well,
you
and
want
I
you
know
want me to be stressed?
some CEOs and some bosses and some presidents of companies, right? They look at that as loyalty.
Right.
That's a whole wrong way to
Yeah.
judge loyalty, right?
Right.
Like it for everything that you said. If we're not looking to, why are you losing sleep? And
Yeah.
clearly, what are we doing to that we're not supporting you in that,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
I'm loyal because look at what I do in the work hours. Look at
Exactly.
what I bring then.
Yeah.
My loyalty is not defined by what I'm doing for the company when I'm not there, you know,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
shouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
that's a
So
whole nother show we can get on to.
yeah. But no, I mean, like I said, it's just the boundaries part is just so important. Like, just
Absolutely.
be it the phone, be it, I just had a relative had posted on Facebook about how making sure that his personal phone is no longer available to his coworkers because he was just like, they abused it. They like, he was like, yep, it's on airplane mode. They can't no longer access.
You
Like, it's like, I get it.
no.
I
Yep.
get it. It's like,
You gotta
wow.
you gotta cut off the outside world sometimes. For
Yeah,
sure.
for
For
sure.
sure. So getting back to well, we just finished talking about rest.
See?
Another thing that these high performers talked about that you do not need the 5 a.m. waking time is using rest as a strategic skill. Man, this speaks for itself, right? But sleep and downtime often get cast as luxuries, but mentally strong people treat them as non-negotiable assets. So your memory consolidation, emotional regulation, your metabolic balance, all hinges on adequate sleep. If you skip on sleep, even if you're disciplined to get up at 5 a.m., it's going to compound in your cognitive debt. The takeaway is that chasing success is clear. Don't glorify the grind, cultivate rest and work, and it will carry the sharper edges. Being able to redefine morning success metrics. If 5 a.m. is not the yardstick, how do mentally strong people judge a good morning? By the output aligned with their values, not the Instagrammable timelines. They ask, did my first hours move me closer to meaningful goals? Did my actions respect my health? Did I create more clarity than chaos? These questions transcend clock digits. Man, I am with that. I am with all those questions, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if I answer them well all the time, but if that is, like you said, redefining success, right?
Mhm.
Are your actions taking you closer? Are you respecting your what's aligned with you, right? Are you
Right.
respecting your rest? All those things.
Mhm.
Like it's funny, that's what we were talking about. That's what the boundaries are for,
Yeah.
you know?
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't, like I said, I'm just in a different headspace. Like I even was talking to a CEO, and it's a family owned business, and
Hmm.
I said, I looked at him and I was like, so what are you doing for yourself? Like what are your vacation plans? And he was just like, um,
He was
uh,
stuck.
uh um, well, I've got this, and he's talking about all these networking events that he's doing, and he's got to do this, he's going to be doing that. I'm like, no, 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 that's not what I asked you. I said, what are what are you doing? Like, what are you going to be doing for yourself? Like, what rest? How are you going to rest this summer? He goes, oh,
Mhm.
I'll sleep when I die. And I looked at him, and I'm like,
Bro, that could be next
I'm
week.
gonna,
That could be today. That could be tomorrow.
I'm
Like,
gonna pretend you didn't just say that. And he goes, and he's like, well, you know how it is, and I'm like, no, that's not how it has to be. Like, I'm like,
no.
are you kidding me? I'm
Ooh,
like,
say that again. It doesn't have to be
that's
that
not
way.
how it has to be. Like, I'm like,
Hmm.
wow,
Yeah.
wow, like,
Yeah.
wow, like, I
It's
don't know.
like I have a favorite saying that you cannot cheat the grind, and you can't, right? You cannot get what you have not worked for, right?
Right, right,
But the grind should not be a 24/7 cycle where you don't get rest and you don't do things for yourself. I've had to learn the hard way.
right.
I've learned from a good friend who's on this show how to take time off and not be part of work. I, I've learned how to take vacation, but it's true, right? Like you have to if you have to block those things off and you take it, and so what that I haven't scheduled anything doesn't mean anything. That's time off. That's gonna be for me,
Right.
and I'll be playing a video game at some point. But
It's
that's what I'm gonna
it's
do.
time you earned. It's time that
Hmm.
you deserve it. Like, period. And that's
Hmm.
I'll never understand, like, even in talking to people who are like, they've served on 6 boards. How do you serve on 6 boards? You cannot possibly be serving. The keyword,
Effectively,
yeah, the keyword is serving on 6 boards. Like,
right, right,
and still have a family, and still, and like, who are you
and take
serving?
and take care of yourself,
And take care of yourself.
and
And like, I
yeah,
I don't know. I think we're just in a place where you're like we're being busy just to be busy. And again, like we need
Mhm.
to redefine what success is. What does success mean to us as an individual, and
Yep.
if that definition actually makes sense, like
It if it fits with where you currently are,
right.
great. But if you find that that success does not fit with where you are,
Hmm.
time to start shifting, right?
Right.
Shift away from where, and I know that could be scary for some people
Right.
too. You
Or are
know,
you chasing a definition that was something from 30 years ago?
right?
Is it something that you watched your father do? Is it something you watched your mother do?
Man, listen, right? Like,
Like,
it, yeah, yeah. Remember the days when, oh yeah, go be a doctor, go be a lawyer, right?
yeah,
I mean, cool.
yeah,
Not hating on that if that's what you choose.
right.
There are so many other things and ways to define what success looks like for you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Man, that's so key for sure. 100%. Um, oh, well, talking about what success looks like, right? Here we go. But a novelist, right, could write 500 words at midnight, and that still makes that metric of success. A parent uh, shifts, they do workouts on their lunch break, so that way they're not, interrupting the toddler at pre-dawn, right? Or they're still holding their health and still doing the workouts. Adaptability is life seasons, right? New babies, elder care duties, demanding audits, but you're not sacrificing your ambition. Chronobiology backs this approach. Success thrives when routines harmonize with evolving contexts rather than rigid ideals. So that's what we were just talking about, right?
Hmm. Right.
And so now building your own mentally strong routine. So crafting a resilient routine starts with observation, not aspiration. Track a typical week. Note your energy peaks, note your distractions, have some recovery moments. Identify your non negotiables, the actions that anchor the mood and focus. Maybe it's a protein rich breakfast. Maybe it's getting some sunlight on the balcony. Maybe it's 10 pages of reading for a 75 hard. Just kidding. Just kidding. But then, as you're doing this experiment with sequencing, place the brain heavy tasks in your high energy slots, right? The social calls in the mid energy windows, and the rote work or the mental fluff work, the administrative work, when you naturally are low. Set minimum viable versions of each habit so that the rough days don't completely erase the progress. Then finally, at the end of the month, do an audit. Are your priorities advancing? Are your boundaries holding? If not, adjust and repeat. This process is iterative, which means mentally strong individuals accept it with curiosity rather than self judgment. So, waking up at 5 a.m. can feel empowering, especially if you're training for something, but it's not a universal unlock for productivity. Mentally strong people prioritize their alignment between biology, their goals, and their boundaries over external schedules. They cultivate flexible routines, defend focus, refuel strategically, and respect rest. Success is not about beating the sun. It is less about beating the sun than it is about harnessing the light whenever your personal dawn happens to arrive. Oh, that was a nice little saying. Whenever your personal dawn happens to arrive. But any thoughts that you want to add before we wrap up for what a successful routine looks like with or without 5 a.m. wake up?
Yeah, I mean, I like they said, like finding out or figuring out what is your personal routine. Like and like
Mm,
they said, documenting, figuring out what works for you.
mm,
I know for me, like I don't schedule anything on Mondays. Like That's just me.
Mhm.
Mondays is my day to figure out what my week's gonna look like. Like
Gotcha.
I just don't schedule anything on Mondays. Um, and then like even for the month,
Mhm.
like I always make sure that there is a weekend that I do nothing. Like, so if
Mhm.
I'm
Sure.
scheduling whatever it is, there's at least a weekend where I have nothing planned at all. And
Mhm.
like, if that weekend something does come up, yeah, can't do anything that weekend. And someone like, why can't you? Nope, that's my weekend to do nothing. I've literally said that. That's my weekend to do nothing. They're looking at me like, are you
You're
crazy? I'm like,
you're
no,
like, no, it's
that's
for
my
me.
weekend. That's my weekend to do nothing. And they're
But
like,
but
okay.
that's a great example, but non-negotiable, right? Like, because if you give that weekend up, I'm not sure you're gonna like that person anymore. You
Right?
know?
I'm like, because then if you're sitting there, right, and you're not having a good time, you're like, this is my weekend to do nothing. And I'm here doing this. Damn
And you're
it.
gonna be thinking, this is some bullshit.
Right.
Why am I sitting
Right.
here?
But yeah, I mean, and just come up with
Yeah.
stuff like that, or the same thing with, your phone, making sure like, hey, and if
Mhm.
you have the luxury of two separate phones, be it business and, your personal, making sure that that professional one is off if you can, if your job permits it, like
Yeah.
I don't take
If you're
both
getting
phones.
paid to be on call, we're not suggesting you turn the phone off.
Right. But if not, you turn it off, it doesn't turn back on until the following day, the following
Mhm.
morning kind of a thing. Or
Absolutely.
just because your work phone has email, you can condition people to say, hey, I'm not responding to your email until 9 o'clock the following morning. Like, just,
If it's not
just,
an emergency, if
yeah,
something's not on fire,
yeah,
no. Like,
yeah,
I would piggyback on that. Also, be adaptable, right?
right,
Don't when you're looking at a routine for yourself, flexible, flexible, and always focus on what you can do, right?
right,
Instead of looking at the things, you start to get that rigid routine when you're like, well, I didn't do that. You're then starting to have that negative self talk. You're limiting yourself. So flexibility, keeping that going with what you can do. I
right,
think that's the best way to define your own routine, right?
right, right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, I think we got to rename the show. Like the creating boundaries. That's good. That's good. No, but we appreciate you guys being on this episode with us, watching, listening. You can search Spotify, go to the Live All Good podcast. You'll find the Cruising with the Coaches episodes. You can also find us on YouTube. There's our YouTube page. You will find go back and check out some of the older episodes. I'm telling you, we talk about boundaries a lot. We talk about
Yep.
communication. Not lying, not lying. But also check out our Facebook page. If Facebook is your flavor of social, there you go. Check us out on Facebook. All right, y'all. Until the next time, Lee and Julie signing out.